Judaism and Christianity, while sharing historical roots, diverge significantly in their perspectives on Jesus of Nazareth. Central to this divergence is the Jewish belief that Jesus does not fulfill the criteria of the Messiah as outlined in Hebrew scriptures. The primary reasons for this perspective include 1. Unfulfilled messianic prophecies. Judaism holds that the true Messiah will accomplish specific tasks that Jesus did not fulfill. Rebuilding the Holy Temple. Prophets like Ezekiel foretold that the Messiah would rebuild the third temple in Jerusalem, Ezekiel 37:26-28. Jesus did not undertake this reconstruction. In Gathering of Jewish Exiles, Isaiah prophesied that the Messiah would gather all Jews back to the land of Israel, Isaiah 43:5-6. This event did not occur during Jesus' time. Establishing world peace. The era of the Messiah is expected to be marked by universal peace and the end of all wars, Isaiah 2:4. The period following Jesus' life saw continued conflicts, indicating that this prophecy remains unfulfilled. 2. Personal qualifications of the Messiah. Jewish teachings specify characteristics that the Messiah must embody. Lineage from King David. The Messiah is anticipated to be a direct descendant of King David, Jeremiah 23:5. Traditional Jewish belief holds that lineage is determined through the Father, and since Jesus is described as being born of a virgin, this patrilineal descent is questioned. Observance of Torah law. The Messiah is expected to lead the Jewish people in strict adherence to the Torah. Some of Jesus' teachings are seen as diverging from traditional Torah observance, leading to doubts about his messianic qualifications. 3. Interpretation of prophetic texts. Certain biblical passages that Christians interpret as prophecies about Jesus are viewed differently in Judaism. Isaiah 53, suffering servant. While Christians see this as a prophecy about Jesus' suffering and death, Jewish scholars often interpret it as referring to the collective suffering of the nation of Israel, rather than an individual messianic figure. 4. Theological differences. Fundamental theological distinctions further separate Jewish and Christian views. Concept of divinity. Judaism maintains a strict monotheism, rejecting any division of God's nature. The Christian belief in Jesus as the divine Son of God and part of the Trinity is incompatible with Jewish theology, which sees the worship of a person as a form of idolatry. Role of the law. Judaism emphasizes the eternal relevance of the Torah's commandments. The Christian notion that Jesus fulfilled and thus rendered the Mosaic law obsolete is not accepted in Jewish thought. These factors collectively explain why, from a Jewish perspective, Jesus is not recognized as the Messiah. The expectations set forth in Jewish scriptures for the Messianic era are seen as yet to be realized, leading to the belief that the true Messiah has not yet arrived. Could Jews and Christians both be right about the Messiah? Or is that spiritual nonsense? For over 2,000 years, a single question has split two of the world's oldest faiths. Who is the Messiah? To Christians, it's clear. Jesus was the promised one, sent to save humanity from sin, fulfilling prophecy in a spiritual and eternal way. To Jews, it's equally clear. The Messiah hasn't come yet because the world still bleeds, the temple lies in ruins, and the promises of universal peace and restoration remain unfulfilled. But here's the twist. What if these two radically different visions aren't mutually exclusive? What if Jesus' role as a spiritual redeemer and the Jewish expectation of an earthly, political Messiah are simply two faces of a deeper mystery, a plan unfolding across generations? Or is that just theological gymnastics? Can two totally different messianic definitions both be right? Or does embracing one mean completely rejecting the other? If Jesus fulfilled only the spiritual dimension of salvation, and the Jewish Messiah is yet to fulfill the physical and global one, could that suggest a shared truth between the two faiths? Or is that idea itself a betrayal of everything each tradition stands for? Let's talk about it.